challenge of Tunisia today is very much the challenge of economic freedom and improving its business climate. Remember that the Arab Spring started in Tunisia with the self-immolation of a street vendor who was prevented from actually doing business. He was in the informal sector, but he was in the informal sector because of all the regulations that he had to face. And to a certain respect, this hasn't changed much. You still have in Tunisia a lot of regulations, very heavy regulations, complex regulations that prevent people from actually doing business. The country inherited from a dual system. Um, both you have both on the labor market very highly protected labor contracts um, with a lot of regulation behind them, and very flexible, ultra flexible labor contracts, which are generating very bad incentives for people, which means that overall the productivity of the economy is very low. Um, then the model of development that was chosen some decades ago is not working. The model is the following: you have basically an offshore sector which is supposed to export, and an onshore sector which is the domestic national industrial base, which is supposed to feed the offshore sector. The offshore sector is receives subsidies for exports, and the onshore sector is very much protected in terms of labor contracts. And this is not working. So this needs to be changed. Another issue in Tunisia today is the question of unions and the way that wages are negotiated. There are many strikes in Tunisia today. This is very bad for companies. So this sort of labor market relationships have to be improved, and trade unions made more responsible, businesses more responsible, and in order to have some sort of trust between both workers and companies, and finally generate a business climate that is conducive to negotiation and cooperation, and with less strikes, which are absolutely toxic for the economy. Another thing is that the country needs to get rid of all its price controls, because of such a bad business climate, business environment. Obviously, you don't have the supply that you could get with a sound business climate, which means that many prices are very high. And because of this, obviously, the government has to step in and then control prices. And this, in turn, generates more imbalances. It generates less incentives for businesses to enter the market, and so on. So this is like a snowball effect of bad policies. Well, this is also needs to be dealt with.